on. Wait, is the microphone on? Okay, yes. Okay. Okay, so can someone just shout out, anyone, give me an example of a rational number? 3. Okay, give me an example of another rational number. 2. Okay, so the question is, if I have 3 plus 2, I get 5, right? So my question is, if I have a rational plus another rational, what's the answer going to be? Okay, Everett, come on up and take your guess. Yep. So the color you pick is what you think the answer is. And then if you want to phone a friend, you pick up yellow. So do you think the answer to a rational plus a rational, does it stay rational or does it become irrational, or you don't know? Okay, he says red. What do you guys think? I agree. It's rational. Okay, so now you can just throw, and if you get it to stick, you get a piece of candy. If you get it to the red or bullseye, you get candy and extra credit.
How should I throw it?
It's up to you. You got it. Oh! Should I count that as red? It's more than half in the blue, though. I'm going to count it because it's pretty hard to get those to stick anyway. Okay, next one. If I add a rational, so like 4, plus an irrational, what's an example of an irrational number? 0.1's a decimal, but not irrational. You may need to go back on day 1 and look up the definition of irrational. What's an example of irrational? Numbers that go forever with no pattern. Okay? Pi. Pi is an irrational number. Okay, so if I do a Q plus a P, so a rational plus an irrational. Okay? Sarahi, come on up and take your guess. What do we think our answer is going to be? Just grab whatever color you think the answer is. Okay, so she thinks blue, irrational. Do you guys agree? So do I. Good. Yeah, just throw it. That's okay. It's harder than you think. All right, good. Next one. What happens when we add 2 irrational numbers? So give me an irrational number besides pi. Square root of 11. Good, Lydia, good. Square root of 11. What's another irrational number besides pi? Anyone? There was one on your bell quiz. Careful, that one was imaginary. Just 10? Square root of 10. So why I said you may want your calculators is because sometimes it helps to decide if they're irrational or irrational. You can try typing the addition into your calculator and you can see if the decimal goes forever or not, okay? So here is an example of 2 irrational numbers being added. So the question is, when I add 2 irrationals, what is the solution? Lydia, come on up and take your guess. Excuse me. She thinks it's irrational, blue. You guys agree? Yep, me too. Good job. That's okay. I'm telling you, it's harder than it looks. Okay, now we're going to talk about the addition properties for real and imaginary. So 2 real numbers. So like 3 and 5. So is my answer when I add 2 real numbers, does it stay real or does it become imaginary? Okay, Ashton, your turn. So when I add 2 real numbers, so pick the color you think is the answer. So he thinks it's real. What do you guys think? You agree? Yeah, so do I. Good. Real. Okay, go ahead. Oh, well, it's stuck. You got candy. Good. Okay. What about when I add 2 imaginary numbers? Can someone shout out an example of an imaginary number? And what's another one? Square root of -9. So that's going to become I plus 3I. So 4I. So the question is an imaginary plus an imaginary, what does it become? Mason, come take your guess. Does it stay imaginary or does it become real? Blue, imaginary, what do you guys think? Yes, good. Oh, I'm going to count that as a bullseye. So that's candy and homework extra credit. Okay. Okay. Last one. What happens when we add a real number like 3 plus an imaginary number like 2I? Okay, so a real plus an imaginary. Okay, does it become real or does it become imaginary? Okay, it's up. Come take your guess. The scenic route he's going. You think it's imaginary, real, or you want to phone a friend? Oh, I should take these off.
Is red right?
What do you guys think? Is it red? Is an imaginary plus a real real? Try again. Yep, imaginary. Oh, here we go. Want candy? Okay, good. All right, let's stop here. Those are our addition ones. Is there any questions before we go through the multiplication ones?